For those of you who don't know me or know me yet, this talk would be a bit different. जैसा आपने मेरे को देखा है वैसी नहीं होगी, probably. But today I'm here to talk about solopreneurship and entrepreneurship in general. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to imagine yourself as a software engineer. I have met with a lot of people here, and mostly all of you code. तो सोचो कि आप एक सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर हो, आप 4 से 5 महीने लगा के कोई प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हो, या आप फ्रंट एंड बैक एंड फुल स्टैक करते हो, डेवऑप्स देख रहे हो, आपके पास एक बहुत बर्निंग आइडिया है और आप चाहते हो कि लोग उसको यूज़ करें. सो यू स्पेंड 4 5 6 मंथ्स ऑन इट, एंड लास्ट में जाके अब आप उसको लॉन्च करते हो. तो यू फिगर आउट यू डोंट हैव यूजर्स येट, you don't have anyone that can use your product, and that is when the thing of solopreneurship comes into place. It is a very difficult path but rewarding at the end. I can tell you I've failed a lot of many times in my life, and I'm here to tell you that even if you taste success, even a little bit of it, then you can do wonders with your life. So my name is Manu Arora. I've been a software engineer for over 9 years now, and I'm here to tell you about my experience with solopreneurship and entrepreneurship, and how my college, my peer groups, and how my friends in general helped me become a solopreneur and then an entrepreneur in my life. And I hope you'll get some learnings out of it. So starting from my college days, I started coding in 2016, and you might be familiar कि minor और major projects होते हैं. तो वहाँ पे you have to build projects and show it to your professors or faculty members. वहाँ पे मेरा जो 4 का ग्रुप था उसमें से I was the only one, fortunately or unfortunately, who was coding. So I had to build systems from scratch, do coding from scratch, and it forced me eventually to learn all the nitty-gritties which are there in software development. तो वो करते 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 मेरे को इतना एक्सपीरियंस हो गया कि Aceternity was founded in 2016 there and then itself in my college. And I wanted to do a lot of work. I didn't want to rest. I just wanted to work and earn a lot of money back then also. And वो वाला जो एक्सपीरियंस था मेरा प्रोडक्ट बिल्डिंग का, जो उसने मेरे को टेक सिखाया है, इवेंचुअली इट हेल्प मी बिकम अ सोलोप्रेन्योर वेरी अर्ली इन माई करियर. सो जो 4 का ग्रुप था उसमें मैं कोड करता था, मेरे को सारा कुछ देखना पड़ता था, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन कोई और कर रहा है, प्रेजेंट करने कोई और जा रहा है, बट आई वॉज द वन एट द बैक कोडिंग, एंड आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ माई टाइम was spent well there. Why solopreneurship is another question, because I saw my friends getting placed. Even I was placed in a service-based company, but I never wanted to follow the path of a 9 to 5 engineer who wears an ID card. I mean, nothing wrong with it, but someone who wears an ID card, goes to an office, comes back at 5 was not very lucrative to me. That is when I decided, and it was in 3rd year of my college, that is when I decided that I want to become something of my own. I want to become a solopreneur. And I knew the risks and challenges that it came up with. These days, a new term like indie hacker or solopreneur is more famous, but what I would like to call it is a one-man army. So when I was placed, I quickly dropped out and I started working on my products on the side. But that wasn't enough, क्योंकि solopreneur, हम Indian household में रहते हैं, we have to support our families, we have to take care of our parents, stuff like that. So I had to take up a job eventually. Most of my learnings came from my job, but then eventually I switched to Aceternity full time. Now there were 2 main challenges with me that baffled me initially, and I had a lot of learnings from them as well. One of the most biggest challenges that indie hackers or solopreneurs face is they move from one product to another really rapidly. For example, my 3 products that I built initially in the first 2 years of my professional journey failed miserably because I moved from 1 to 2nd to 3rd without putting in much time and efforts into everyone which is required. तो क्या होता है, जब जल्दी मूव करते हो, you build and ship faster, you lose track of time and track of your surroundings. That is what happened with my initial products. I moved way too fast. I didn't have enough faith in my products or whatever I was building at that point of time. Now I look back and I check those products. I still can make a lot of money and a lot of gathering out of it, but उस time पे वो नहीं हो पाया, which was unfortunate. That is the number one challenge that you face if you're an indie hacker or a solopreneur. The other thing which is very scary is you build something and you have no users. To cater that, similarly, like I said, in my first 3 products, I had no audience. So with Aceternity, the problem that I solved was, first, I built a lot of distribution around Twitter. So I was sure that people were already there even if I build my product. और अगर मैं कुछ बना रहा हूँ, मैं उसमें 4-5 महीने डाल रहा हूँ, तो आई मेक श्योर मैं डे वन से उसके बारे में बात करना शुरू कर दूँ. फॉर एग्जाम्पल एस्टर्निटी यूआई, विच इज़ वाई आई एम हेयर ऑल्सो. तो उसके बारे में मैं बात करना शुरू कर दूँ. तो एस्टर्निटी यूआई जब शुरू हुआ था, उसका भी यही चैलेंज था कि जो मैंने प्रीवियस अपने प्रोडक्ट्स में किया था कि मैं बना तो दूंगा, लेकिन उसको मार्केट कौन करेगा, सेल्स कौन देखेगा, फ्यूचर प्लान्स क्या है, पैसे कैसे आएंगे कंपनी में, या फुल फ्लेज्ड ये कंपनी बनेगी भी कैसे. So what I did was I built and launched an MVP, and that is what I would love to tell you all out here as well. If you're building a side project, launch an MVP first and validate it with all of your users which are there around you. Be it friends, family, anyone on Twitter, LinkedIn, Peerlist, Instagram, Reddit. You have lot many platforms. You have AI at your disposal. First, build distribution is what I would suggest. बिकॉज अर्लियर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नहीं है, आपके पास यूज़र्स नहीं है, तो आपके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है अपने प्रोडक्ट को यूजेबल बनाना. फिर सारी चीज़ें आ जाती है कि आपके प्रोडक्ट में फेथ नहीं है, या फिर आपने प्रोडक्ट में एफर्ट नहीं डाला, और वो सारी चीज़. सो बिल्ड अ डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन फर्स्ट टू सॉल्व ऑल द चैलेंजेस विच कम अप. एंड देन वंस यू हैव समथिंग रेडी, वंस यू हैव वैलिडेटेड अ प्रोडक्ट आइडिया, गो ऑल इन ऑन इट. ऑल इन ऑन मीन से मतलब आप बहुत ज़्यादा कोड कर रहे हो और बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़र से फीडबैक लेके फीचर्स पुश कर रहे हो. This has to be the sole learning from Aceternity UI for me at least. I built 7 components and it was a very niche down topic. Like, I didn't want to build great looking websites for everyone. I wanted everyone which was a developer to have access to beautifully looking components into their websites, so that they can build it themselves. So that was the whole agenda of Aceternity UI when it was starting up. And already, since I already had a bit of distribution with me at my disposal, it was easier for me to validate. And the idea of Aceternity like didn't happen 1 year back. It happened like 5 years back when I was building, when Tailwind UI, if not familiar, that came in. That is when I started building the idea of Aceternity. So yeah. The other thing that I also want to talk about is why any one of you would want to pursue solopreneurship. The number one factor you want to be a solopreneur is that you like building at heart, you like creating and building things from scratch. You are not someone who can be given a task, they complete it on a deadline and be done for the day. You want more from your life, you want more in terms of money, in terms of satisfaction, it can be anything. But if you're deciding to run up on the journey of solopreneurship, please make sure that you're ready with the risks that come up with. For example, when I left my full-time job, I made sure I had 18 months का runway left for me, कि अगर मेरा product ये भी काम नहीं करता है, तो at least I have 18 months to go search for a job. And I was skilled enough, I could get job anytime. But अगर आपके पास नहीं है, तो make sure you have runway left. रनवे है तो यू हैव अ सेफ्टी नेट. लोग बोलते नहीं होना चाहिए, रिस्क टेकिंग एबिलिटीज, दिस एंड दैट. रिस्क लेना चाहिए, बट कैलकुलेटेड रिस्क लेना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, बिकॉज वी लिव इन इंडियन हाउस होल्ड्स, वी हैव फैमिलीज टू टेक केयर ऑफ. वी कांट जस्ट गो अराउंड एंड से कि मैं ये बना रहा हूँ, मैं वो बना रहा हूँ, एंड एट द एंड ऑफ द डे if it doesn't work out, you have nothing to be, nothing substantial to work for. So yeah, that is the number one thing. If you're aware of the risks, be sure of the challenges that comes with it. And the second thing is, we want to escape the 9 to 5 routine, because I didn't want to do 9 to 5. I honestly wanted to work 24 hours a day on my thing instead of working 9 to 5 for someone else. But don't take me wrong, 9 to 5 will teach you all the necessary required skills which will help you become a solopreneur later on in your life. तो अगर 9 to 5 में अगर अपना काम अच्छा करते हो, तो इवेंचुअली आपके सोलोप्रेन्योर जर्नी में ये सारी चीज़ें आपके काम आएंगी. So my 2 cents, lastly, I would like to wrap up this talk really quickly. My 2 cents on solopreneurship is risk-taking abilities. You should have great risk-taking abilities. You should be skilled enough to build things end-to-end. If you're a developer, not just developing things would work. You'll have to market, you'll have to talk to a lot of people, you have to take a lot of user feedback, you have to respond to a lot of user queries. Trust me, I get 1,000 user queries every day, and most of it I'm the one who's answering every time. I'm perpetually on my phone, perpetually on my laptop. I'm answering all the support queries that come with it, and that is satisfying and fulfilling for me. So if you are someone जो ये सब कर सकता है, I think solopreneurship is for you. And at the end, it is very rewarding, as in you have a component library that is used by millions of people. You get invited to national level institutes to deliver talks. You get to, you know, all bigger US based companies, you get to invited there to present your talks and such stuff. That is something which is fulfilling, and I think that is very satisfying for me as well. So if you're one of them, I really urge you to, go ahead with it, but take calculated risks is what I would like to say. Thank you so much and have a good one. I'll see you outside, and I'm here if you want me to. Thanks.